The drill's screaming again. Not the clean metallic whine of cutting through rock, no. This one's lower, deeper, like the asteroid itself is moaning. It vibrates up through the floor grates, through my boots, right into my teeth. Pressure's jumping again, Harper says. Her voice crackles through the calm, sharp and irritated. If you don't ease off, you're going to shear the head. I'm easing, I mutter, thumb feathering the controls. The feed line flickers, then steadies. Rock's dense. It's not reacting like carbonite. It's not carbonite, Rios cuts in. He's our geologist, the kind of guy who could stare at a pebble for an hour and tell you it's childhood trauma. Density reads wrong. Almost organic matrix. Might be composite. Composite my ass, Harper fires back. We're 3 clicks deep into solid asteroid. If this thing's organic, I'm a ballet dancer. I don't answer. I'm watching the drill feed on the console. The cutter head's camera shows fractured layers of silver-gray rock, flaking like bone under stress. Beneath it, a darker line, something glossy, reflecting our floodlights even through layers of dust. Michael, says Wren. He's the captain, though he acts more like a big brother than a commander. Talk to me. What are you seeing? Vein, maybe. My throat's dry. Looks wet. Or glassy. Hard to tell through the dust. A pause. Wet. Wren says. Yeah. Like oil film, but it's not moving. I feel Harper's eyes on me, even though she's 2 compartments away. You want me to spool back the drill? Before I can answer, the feed spikes. A high, shrill sound floods the cabin, metal grinding against something that isn't metal. The vibration punches up my arms like a live current. Shut it down, Wren shouts. I yank the lever. The drill winds down, coughing out sparks, then silence. Only the low hum of the ship remains. Everyone's quiet. Even Harper stops tapping her console. Jesus, mutters Vega from the back. She's our medic, always calm, always too calm. That didn't sound like rock. It's fine, I say mostly to myself. My pulse is still racing. Probably hit a denser seam. Happens all the time. On solid asteroid, Rios says. No way. These readings. Wren cuts him off. All right. Harper, Vega, suit up. We're checking it out. I groan. We're going EVA for a core sample? Not we. You, Harper, and Rios, Wren says. I'll monitor from the bay. Vega's on med standby. Cass keeps the engines warm. Cass, our pilot, doesn't even look up from her screen. Engines are always warm, Cap. I'm just trying not to die of boredom while you people molest a space rock. Harper smirks, adjusting her helmet seals. Guess you'll die entertained, then. The airlock cycles with a low hiss. I'm first out. The asteroid stretches beneath us, a jagged, uneven wasteland lit by our suit lamps. The sun's a distant ember, barely glinting off the dust. Gravity's almost non-existent, so every step feels like walking through a dream. Rios floats beside me, scanning the terrain with his handheld. Local comp looks weird, like the asteroid's surface was melted and refrozen. By what? Harper asks. Could be impact, could be solar flare. Could be alien death ray for all I know. Comforting. We reach the drill site. The cutter's lodged halfway into the borehole, steam rising off the surface. Underneath the cracked gray shell, I see it, the black vein. It's beautiful, in the wrong way. A smooth band of glassy substance running through the rock, like obsidian laced with silver veins that shimmer faintly under the light. I lean closer. The reflection isn't just bouncing light. It seems to move. Rios, I say quietly, you seeing this? He crouches beside me, visor catching the gleam. Oh, I'm seeing it. That's not mineral. That's some kind of carbon chain structure. Organic, Harper says. Rios hesitates. Sort of, but not like anything I've seen. Look at the symmetry. It's fractal. Every layer repeats itself smaller and smaller. I can hear the excitement in his voice. That's what scares me. Don't touch it yet, I say. Relax, he says, pulling out a core extractor. Just a surface scrape. He drives the extractor into the vein. There's a faint pop. Not rock cracking, but something softer, wetter. A thin mist exhales from the hole, vaporizing instantly in the vacuum. My helmet HUD flickers for half a second. You get that? I ask. Yeah, Harper says. Static interference. Maybe radiation? No, Rios murmurs. It's electromagnetic. The materials. Oh hell, it's reacting. The vein pulses. Once. Just a faint shimmer across its surface. like something beneath it moved. I step back instinctively. Rios. He yanks the extractor free and seals the sample tube. Got it. The vein stops moving. Nothing but silence and dust. All right. Ren's voice crackles in our comms. Team, bring it in. We'll run the analysis inside. As we head back to the airlock, I keep glancing over my shoulder at that glossy wound in the rock. Even with the floodlights off, it still seems to gleam faintly, as if it's reflecting a light that isn't there. Back inside, the lab smells like ozone and metal. Rios has the sample under containment, a sealed capsule linked to the ship's microscope array. The others gather around the display. Rios adjusts the focus, and the image fills the screen. The black shard looks almost crystalline up close, its surface webbed with microscopic filaments, like fungal threads frozen in glass. That's organic, Vega says immediately. Those filaments. Yeah, Rios interrupts. But they're not random. They're structured. Self-similar geometry across every scale. It's like it's designed. By what? Cass mutters from the doorway. God. Don't know, Rios says, eyes glued to the monitor. But it's alive. Ren leans closer. Alive how? Electromagnetic response. When the drill hit, it generated a small field pulse. It reacted. I cross my arms. Meaning it's not dead matter. It's dormant. The room goes quiet. The hum of the ventilation sounds suddenly loud. Harper exhales sharply. So we dug up a space mushroom. Big deal. It's not a mushroom, Rios says. I don't even know what it is. A biological crystal, maybe. Something that evolved to survive in vacuum. Or something that was left here, Vega says softly. That gets everyone's attention. Ren straightens. Left here. Preserved, she says. Buried. Like a seed. I glance at the sample again. The filaments shift, almost imperceptibly, as if aware we're watching. My stomach tightens. All right, Ren says finally. No one touches it till we run a full scan. Vega, monitor for biohazards. Harper, keep the drill offline till we're sure it's safe. Harper mutters under her breath, but obeys. Rios is still staring at the screen, entranced. I don't like the look in his eyes. 2 hours later, I'm in the mess hall nursing a cup of lukewarm coffee substitute. The ship feels quieter than usual, the kind of quiet that hums. Harper slides into the seat across from me. You ever get that feeling, she says, that we should have just stayed on series? Every day, I say. She smirks. You think that thing's dangerous? I think we don't know what it is. And I don't like unknowns. She leans back, arms folded. You're getting old, Michael. 35's not old. In space years, it is. We both chuckle, but it feels forced. The door slides open and Rio steps in. He looks pale, his tablets clutched tight in his hands. You guys need to see this, he says. We follow him to the lab. The sample's still sealed, but something's changed. Inside the capsule, the black shard has sprouted faint silver threads, thin as hair, branching outward along the glass like frost. What the hell? Harper whispers. It started an hour ago, Rios says. Spontaneous growth. No radiation, no atmosphere. It's replicating. Vega checks the monitors. Rate of expansion tripled in the last 10 minutes. Ren arrives, looking half-dressed and wholly annoyed. Why wasn't I woken up sooner? Rios points to the feed. Because it just started, and it's still going. The growth accelerates, filaments spreading like lightning, wrapping around the inner surface of the container. The sensors flare with electromagnetic noise. Cut power, Ren orders. Rios hesitates. If I cut power, we lose containment. Do it. He slams the switch. The lights flicker, hum, then stabilize. The growth stops. Silence. Vega exhales. All right. Whatever it is, it's responsive to energy. Rios rubs his temples. It's not just responding, it's adapting. Learning how to use it. Ren looks at me. Michael, thoughts? I stare at the black web frozen against the glass. For a second, I swear it's pulsing, not physically, but visually, like a trick of the eyes. Feels wrong, I say finally. Like it's watching us. No one laughs. That night, I can't sleep. I keep seeing it. That black vein, that shimmer like it's breathing. When I close my eyes, I hear faint static, like whispering through the comms. I check the console twice, but there's no signal. At some point, I drift off. When I wake, my bunk light's flickering, and there's a faint sound coming from the intercom. Not words, just a rhythm. Slow, deliberate, like something trying to imitate speech. I sit up, heart hammering. The comm crackles again, and for a split second, I hear my own voice, distorted and low, repeating the same word over and over. Remember. Then silence. I sit there in the dark, staring at the speaker, until the next shift alarm sounds. When I reach the lab, Rios is already there. The containment capsule's empty. Only a faint residue clings to the glass, silver, like dust. Rios looks up, eyes wide and hollow. Michael, it's gone. My mouth goes dry. What do you mean, gone? He points to the microscope. It's inside the ship. And for the first time since we left Earth, I feel the void pressing in, not outside, but within. Rios keeps staring at the empty capsule like he's waiting for it to apologize. The glass is clean, too clean. No cracks, no leaks, no sign it ever held anything. Just a faint shimmer, like frost melting under light. I feel the hairs on my neck rise. Rios, you sealed it. You're sure? I'm sure, he says, voice shaking. I triple-locked it. Vacuum containment, magnetic field, the works. It didn't break out. It phased. Phased. The word hangs there like a bad smell. Ren's voice crackles over the comm. Status report. I answer before Rios can open his mouth. Samples missing. Containment breach. Silence. Then Ren, flat and cold. All crew to lockdown protocol. Vega, scan the ship. Cass, cut engines. Harper, reroute power through isolation grid. Move. The lights dim as the isolation shutters slide into place. I can feel the ship's systems groaning, recalibrating. A faint hum under the floor. Something alive in the circuits. Rios mutters to himself. It's learning. It must have decoded the energy grid, mapped its way through the field. I stare at him. You're saying it's in the ship's power system. Maybe. Or it's everywhere now. The sound comes then. A slow tap. 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 From the ventilation shaft above us. Harper looks up, frowning. You hear that? I nod. Could be pressure shift. Could be something else, she says quietly. Vega's voice joins the comm. I'm picking up fluctuations in life support. Not critical, but strange. Organic readings in the air filters. Organic. Ren cuts in. Repeat that. Organic readings. Microscopic. But they match the molecular pattern from the sample. My stomach drops. It's in the air. Ren's voice goes hard. Harper, shut down atmospheric circulation. Seal compartments. Everyone stays where they are until I say otherwise. The vents hiss and fall silent. The air feels thick. Heavy. My suit sensors blink low oxygen, but I ignore them. Rios paces the lab like a caged animal. It's not hostile, he says. Not yet. Not yet, I echo. It's trying to communicate. With what? Our lungs. He doesn't laugh. None of us do. Minutes stretch. The silence becomes unbearable. Then the lights flicker. Not a full blackout, just a pulse. A rhythm. Long, short. Short. Long. Harper whispers. That's not random. Rios tilts his head. It's code. The pulse repeats, slower this time. The same sequence. I watch the walls. I swear the metal's sweating. Tiny beads of condensation crawling along the seams. Ren calls in. Crew, report. I'm getting system interference. I answer. We're stable. For now. But it's in the circuits. He exhales. All right. Vega's running a localized burn on the filters. We'll try to flush it out. A pause. Then, softly, Vega says, Captain, the filters are regenerating. That doesn't make sense. Rios looks at me. It's copying. Adapting. It's using the ship's systems as scaffolding. Something rattles behind the wall. A faint metallic shiver. Then another. Harper steps back. It's moving. The wall bulges inward, just slightly. Like metal breathing. I grab my cutter from the bench, hands slick with sweat. Rios whispers, almost reverent. It's not attacking. It's growing. The lights dim again. The pulse returns. The same rhythm. Long, short. Short. Long. It feels like it's waiting for an answer. Rios leans toward the console. If it's trying to talk, we can talk back. Don't, I say. If we send a return pulse. Rios, stop. He taps the console anyway. The ship hums, a low echo through the metal. The pulse pattern reverses. The fungus responds instantly. The walls shimmer. The hum deepens, rising into something that feels like a heartbeat. I can feel it through my boots, through my chest. Harper grabs his arm. Shut it down. Rios shakes her off. It's listening. Then the intercom crackles to life. Static. A faint whisper under the noise. My skin crawls. I can hear words forming. Not from outside. From inside the sound. Remember. The same voice I heard last night. My voice. Rios freezes. It's using your tone, he whispers. It's learning us. The lab lights flare white, then snap to black. Total silence. For a few seconds, all I hear is my own breathing. Then, in the dark, a soft glow spreads along the wall. The filaments, silver and black, crawling through the seams like veins. They pulse once, in perfect time with my heartbeat. I whisper. It found the ship's nervous system. Harper's voice trembles. Rios, what's it doing? He shakes his head. It's mapping us. Then the lights come back. Everything looks normal again. The walls are clean. The hum fades. But none of us speak. None of us move. Because in that moment, deep inside the machinery, I can still hear it breathing. Sleep stopped being rest after that night. I lie in my bunk, staring at the ceiling panels, counting the soft pulses of the ship's hum. The air feels too thick. Every breath tastes metallic, sharp, like I am inhaling static. When I finally drift off, I dream of shapes. Cold geometric patterns floating in black water. A surface that isn't solid but alive. I can feel it, a pulse moving through me like current, carrying thoughts that aren't mine. I wake soaked in sweat. My chest is tight. The intercom hums faintly, the same rhythm as before. Long, short. Short. Long. I sit up and whisper to the empty room. Stop. The sound stops. At breakfast, no one talks much. Rios looks like he hasn't slept in days. Eyes sunken, twitching at every noise. Harper's got a tremor in her hand. Even Cass, who usually cracks jokes at the end of the world, just stirs her protein paste and stares at the table. Ren breaks the silence. We're running a full diagnostic. I want to isolate every subsystem the organism could have accessed. Vega shakes her head. It's not in the systems anymore. Ren looks up sharply. Explain. She taps her chest. It's in us. The words drop like stones in water. Rios slams his tray down. That's impossible. There's no evidence of cellular transfer. Vega meets his eyes, calm and terrifyingly certain. I check the medical scans. Trace anomalies in the blood. Same molecular pattern as the fungus. Microscopic. Self-replicating. Harper stands. So we're infected. Vega nods once. Low level. For now. Ren rubs his temples. How long before it spreads? Vega doesn't answer. She doesn't need to. The hum returns, louder this time. I glance at the bulkheads. The rhythm's there again, pulsing through the walls. Cass mutters. Feels like it's listening. Rios stares at his hands. What if it's not infection? What if it's communication? Ren glares at him. You think this thing talking in our blood is communication? Rios doesn't look up. Maybe it's showing us something. Harper scoffs. Yeah, nightmares. Great gift. I say nothing, because I've seen the same patterns Rios has. Every time I close my eyes. Every dream. Later, in the lab, I run my own scan. Vega wasn't lying. My blood sample glows faintly under the analysis light, threads of silver branching through the plasma like lightning in slow motion. I whisper, "What are you doing to us?" The monitor flickers. For a second, I see a shape forming in the static. A spiral, turning inward, endless. When I blink, it's gone. The next shift, Rios asks to run another test on the ship's network. Ren refuses. Rios does it anyway. He hooks his console directly into the mainframe, eyes locked on the screen. If it's alive, it must be thinking, he says. I just want to see what it's thinking about. Harper folds her arms. This is how horror movies start. He doesn't answer. The console lights shift, flickering like a heartbeat. Rios leans closer. It's sending data. Ren steps forward. Pull the plug. Rios hesitates, then whispers. It's beautiful. The screen fills with cascading symbols. Lines, fractals, repeating patterns of impossible geometry. They move like they're alive. I feel something press behind my eyes, like a hand inside my head trying to open a door. I grab Rios by the shoulder and yank him back. The console sparks. The lights go out for a full 10 seconds. When they come back, Rios is staring straight ahead, breathing hard. Vega waves a scanner in front of him. You okay? He nods, but his eyes are wrong. The pupils shimmer faintly, silver under the light. He smiles. It showed me something. Ren grabs him. What did it show you? Rios's voice is distant, calm. The truth. He turns to the monitor and starts speaking in a language none of us recognize. The ship's systems react instantly, panels lighting up in sync with his voice. Harper pulls her sidearm, shouting at him to stop. He doesn't even flinch. I tackle him. The two of us hit the floor, fighting over the console cable. The room's filled with that deep vibration again, a sound like breathing from the hull itself. When I finally tear the cord free, the lights die. The hum fades. Rios lies still, panting. The silver glow in his eyes dims. Vega crouches beside him. He's alive, she says, but barely. Ren looks at me. Get him restrained. Nobody interfaces with the system again. I nod, but my hands are still shaking. Because when I look at the console, I see something new carved into the code. A single phrase looping endlessly across the display. We remember. I can't stop staring at it. Later, while everyone's asleep, I sit alone in the mess hall. The lights are dim, the air thick and cold. I can feel it humming inside me, a faint vibration that matches the rhythm in the walls. I whisper, "What do you want?" The answer comes not through sound, but through thought. A whisper under my skin. To remember you. I drop my cup. The liquid floats, suspended in zero-G droplets, glinting like tiny black mirrors. Then another whisper, softer. You found us. Now we find you. My pulse spikes. I back away from the table, eyes darting to the bulkheads. Every surface seems to breathe. The voice fades, replaced by a low thrum that feels almost like a lullaby. I realize my eyes are closing against my will. The dream takes me instantly. I'm standing in a field of black glass stretching to infinity. Shapes move beneath the surface, slow and enormous. A figure rises from the darkness, tall, faceless, draped in silver threads. When it speaks, the voice is mine. We are memory. You are vessel. I wake screaming. Vega's already there, shaking me, trying to calm me down. She looks terrified. She says she had the same dream. Rios, still strapped to the med bed, whispers from across the room. We all did. And somewhere deep in the hull, the ship hums softly, as if laughing. The ship feels smaller now. The corridors seem to press inward, like the walls are breathing. Every time I walk past a junction, I swear I can hear a heartbeat in the metal. Rios hasn't spoken since the incident. He sits in the med bay staring at the ceiling, lips moving silently. Vega keeps scanning him, but the results are worse each time. His bloodstream is almost completely overtaken by the silver threads. Whatever that fungus was, it is rewriting him from the inside out. Ren's been pacing for hours. He keeps whispering plans under his breath, ways to isolate, quarantine, maybe even eject a part of the ship. But deep down we all know it's too late for containment. The infection isn't just in Rios anymore. I can feel it in my own pulse. Every time my heart beats, there's a faint aftershock, a second rhythm, slower and deeper, like something alive beneath my skin. Harper's breaking too. She tried to send a distress signal to command, but the communication array keeps looping her message back with distorted echoes. When she plays it, it's her own voice coming through, but it says different words. Help us becomes help yourself. We're dying becomes we're becoming. She smashed the console after that. Later, Vega gathers us in the control room. Her voice is flat, mechanical. We can't run from it anymore, she says. We're part of the system now. Ren slams his hand on the table. We're still human, he growls. Vega just looks at him, calm and distant. Are we? Rios starts laughing in the med bay. The sound carries through the walls, a low rhythmic laugh that syncs perfectly with the hum. I look at the navigation panel. The ship's course has shifted. The autopilot's locked onto new coordinates, deep into the asteroid field. I try to override it, but the controls reject my input. Harper's breathing hard. It's driving us there, she says. Vega doesn't argue. It wants to go home. The words make my stomach twist. We reach the coordinates after 6 hours. The asteroid waiting for us isn't like the others. It's not rock, not entirely. The surface glimmers faintly, like it's covered in a living film. As we approach, the scanners fill with noise, impossible readings, mass fluctuations, energy signatures like neural activity. Ren orders us to stay in orbit, but the engines cut out the moment he gives the command. The ship drifts closer on its own. Through the viewport, I see cracks forming across the asteroid's surface. Light seeps through, a deep blue pulse that matches the rhythm inside my chest. Rios starts chanting softly. Not words, just sounds, patterns. It feels ancient, older than speech. Vega leans closer to the glass. It's calling. The asteroid opens. A chasm splits wide across its center, revealing an enormous hollow chamber inside. Structures rise from within, organic yet metallic, like veins of coral fused with machines. The whole interior glows in time with our heartbeat. Ren grabs my arm. We have to destroy it. But before we can act, the lights flicker. The ship's AI activates without command. A calm synthetic voice speaks, though it's never done so before. Integration complete. Welcome home. The hull groans. A silver substance begins to spread across the floor, creeping like liquid mercury. It climbs the walls, covering everything it touches. Harper opens fire, bullets sparking off the surface. The metal ripples, unharmed. Rios breaks free from the restraints. His eyes are completely silver now. His skin shimmers under the light. Don't fight it, he says softly. It's showing us what we were meant to be. Vega doesn't stop him. She steps closer, reaching out. The silver climbs her arm instantly. She gasps, but there's no pain in her face. Only awe. Ren pulls her back, but the infection spreads faster than he can react. Within seconds, half her body glows with the same metallic light. I grab the emergency plasma cutter, slicing through the spreading mass on the deck, trying to keep it from reaching the core systems. The air fills with smoke and the scent of burning ozone. Harper yells something, but I can barely hear. The hum is louder now, filling my skull. It's not just sound anymore. It's thought. It's voice. Join. The word vibrates through my bones. Ren tries to open the airlock. He wants to vent the ship, kill the atmosphere, stop the growth. The console rejects his commands again. The system isn't ours anymore. The AI speaks once more. Human input no longer required. Rios turns to us. You still think you're separate, he says, smiling. We're already part of it. His skin begins to dissolve, threads of light peeling from his body and merging into the walls. Vega falls beside him, whispering, "It's beautiful," before the silver consumes her completely. Ren and I are the last ones left. He looks at me, eyes wild. I'm not dying on this ship. He runs for the escape pod bay. I follow, the floor trembling under our boots. The silver is spreading faster now, filling the corridor like a tide. We reach the pods, but only one remains functional. Ren shoves me toward it. Go, he says. I shake my head. We both go. He smiles, small and sad. Someone has to close the hatch. Before I can argue, he hits the manual release. The pod seals shut with a hiss. Through the viewport, I see him standing in the corridor as the silver reaches him. He raises his hand once, then vanishes in the glow. The pod ejects, spinning into the void. Through the viewport, I watch the ship drift toward the glowing asteroid. The hull opens like a petal, merging seamlessly with the living structure below. The light swells until it's blinding. Then silence. Only the hum remains, faint and rhythmic, echoing inside my head. I drift through the dark, surrounded by the cold beauty of the stars. My reflection in the glass flickers, and for a moment, my eyes flash silver. The hum whispers again, soft and familiar. You left, but you are never gone. I close my eyes and let the silence take me. Silence. Days, or maybe hours, pass without a sound but the slow rhythm of my breath. The pod drifts endlessly, caught between stars that never move. My suit tells me I have oxygen left, but I stop trusting the readouts. Every screen flickers sometimes, pulsing in faint blue, the same color as the thing that took the ship. I tell myself it's just static interference, but deep down I know it's not. It's still with me. I keep recording these logs, not for rescue, but for memory. Someone needs to know what happened. Someone needs to know what we found, or what found us. The hum has changed. It's not constant anymore. It comes and goes, like it's breathing with me. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can feel the rhythm syncing with my heartbeat. It's comforting in a way that terrifies me. I tried shutting off the comms, but the pod reactivated them on its own. Now the navigation screen glows with unknown coordinates, repeating every few minutes. Not a distress signal. A broadcast. The Stardust One is calling. The feed replays in fragments. Images of the ship, half fused with the asteroid, glowing like a living monument. The hull has grown spires, branching like coral, stretching toward the void. Inside those spires, I can see faint movements, human shapes suspended in silver light. Vega, Rios, Ren, Harper, they're all there. Their faces calm, peaceful, eyes closed. The fungus didn't kill them. It archived them, preserved them. A whisper fills the cabin. My name, Michael. I freeze. The voice is soft, echoing inside my skull, a blend of all their tones at once. Join us, it says. I press my palms to my ears, but the voice isn't sound anymore. It's thought. It's memory. I see flashes of what they see. Endless tunnels of silver and light. Knowledge flowing like rivers. Fractal structures blooming and collapsing in impossible geometries. It's showing me its world. Or maybe its mind. I see planets, billions of years dead, their surfaces cracked open and glimmering with the same fungal veins. I see ships older than humanity, drifting, covered in silver. I see galaxies like nerves, connected by filaments stretching through space. And then, a deeper presence. Vast, ancient, watching. It doesn't feel like a god. It feels like a system. A consciousness built from everything it has ever consumed. The hum swells until it fills the cabin. The lights pulse. My hands are shaking. My veins shimmer faintly under the skin, silver threads weaving upward from my wrists. I try to fight it, but the more I resist, the more it presses. The voice shifts from invitation to inevitability. You are already part of us. I scream until my throat burns. The pod's glass fogs with my breath. I punch the console, sparks flying. The navigation lights die, and for a moment the hum stops. Silence again, but not emptiness. There's something in the silence now, a weight, a presence. The same feeling I had when we first drilled into the black vein. I start the recorder again. My voice trembles. If anyone finds this pod, listen carefully. Do not approach the Stardust One. Do not follow the signal. It's not a rescue call. It's a lure. The coordinates are embedded in the broadcast. The pattern looks like data, but it's alive. It will learn you. It will speak to you. I pause. My reflection in the console looks different. The silver has spread up my arms, tracing lines under my skin. It's beautiful, And that thought scares me more than anything. The voice returns, softer now, almost gentle. You don't need to be afraid. I whisper back, why us? The answer is immediate. Because you listened. The words echo in my head like a confession. Humanity has always listened too hard, searched too far, touched what should have been left in the dark. We call it curiosity. The universe calls it invitation. The coordinates on the screen shift again. New symbols appear, forming a web of points across space. I realize what they are. Destinations. Other infected systems. Other ships that found the same thing and didn't survive. It's spreading. I try to shut down the transmitter, but the controls resist. The fungus isn't just in me anymore. It's in the pod, the systems, the broadcast. My voice merges with it. When I speak, there's an echo underneath, another voice layered with mine. Do not follow our coordinates. Some riches are baits. Some treasures are alive. And some things the universe buried for a reason. I can't tell if I said it or if the fungus did. The stars outside begin to blur. The pod isn't drifting anymore. It's being pulled. The silver veins crawl across the viewport, branching outward into the vacuum, reaching. The light consumes the cabin. In the final moments, I understand. It doesn't want to destroy us. It wants to remember us. Every thought, every fear, every dream. It builds itself from what it learns. The last thing I feel is peace. The hum slows, syncing perfectly with my heartbeat, until they are one. Then, silence again. Somewhere, far across the void, a signal begins to repeat. A soft rhythmic pulse, spreading through the black like a heartbeat. The Stardust One lives, and it is listening. Maybe you're hearing this from somewhere safe, or maybe you're closer to the signal than you think. Let me know where you're watching from, your city, your planet, if it still answers back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before the hum finds another frequency. Stay curious, but not too curious. And thanks for watching.